What is going on, guys and gals? This is your boy J-Love coming at you with another video about non-CDL and CDL Hotshot. In this video, I'm going to go over a question that I get a lot, and that's whether you should lease on or get your own authority when you're first starting out. So before we get to that, though, I want to give a big shout out to all my sponsors, Rywick Transportation, VRL Transport LLC. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring me. If you're interested in sponsoring for next fight, or if you want to get your shout outs, hit me up, email me right here at this email, and I get you guys in. But let's get to the intro. Okay, guys, well, I get this question a lot, whether you should lease on or get your own authority. So I want to talk a little bit about this, the pros and the cons, right? So if you guys don't know, we went ahead and got our own authority. I didn't even know what leasing on was when I first started back in the day. Nobody ever talked about it. We thought we had to get our own authority. We had to do that. But then we started learning about leasing on. Now, there is some pros to having your own authority, and there is some cons. There is some pros about leasing on and some cons as well. First off, though, I would say that if you have no experience at all and you want to get into Hotshot and you have a truck and trailer, leasing on may be the way to go. And there's a few reasons why. So if you're leasing on, you're probably going to get on to a company that already has credibility, that has had their authority for a number of years or a number of months or whatever. One thing that's a problem in booking loads is that a lot of times brokers are going to look for authority length of the time you've had your authority. So if you're a brand new company, they're going to know that. And so it's going to stop you from getting a lot of the loads that you could have. Obviously, I've gone over this before, and you're still going to be able to get good loads as long as you're searching for them. But when you lease on a company that's already had their authority for 5 years, that person doesn't know that you're brand new with the company. They just see the company's been around for 5 years. So they're going to feel comfortable about giving you the load. You know, they're not going to worry too much about it. So that's really one reason that's pretty cool when leasing on is even if you're brand new in Hotshot, you have a brand new truck, brand new trailer, you're trying it out. If you lease on to a company that's had time in their authority, they probably already have credibility. They're probably already set up with a lot of companies. It's going to make life a lot easier for you. So real quick, I want to go over kind of some terms for leasing on, what people usually will cover for you, what they expect you to cover, how much percentage they usually take. Now, these are basically what my company does. Other companies are different. I know people that do 25%, 30%. I do less. But this is basically what we offer or what we're going to take, basically. So usually a good rate to pay for a lease on, I would say, is anywhere from 15 to 20%. Now, that's with you covering your insurance, right? So 15, 20%, and you pay your own insurance. 15% is usually what I would charge somebody who's experienced or has a really nice setup, you know, has put a lot of money into their setup, so I know that they're gonna do good work for me. 20% is what I would charge somebody who's brand new, and basically just trying it out, hasn't really put a lot of money into equipment, is just kind of trying to get on the road. I'd probably take a little bit more just because of a little more of a risk, right? So 15 to 20%, but the things that are going to be covered when leasing on, right? So usually, or what we do is we're going to cover your dispatching 100%. That should definitely be covered in the percentage that's taken if they're taking 15 or 20%. We're buying the ELD. We're paying for the ELD. We're giving you a fuel card. We handle all of the clearinghouse stuff, so you don't have to, if you're leasing on with somebody, you don't have to set up anything for the clearinghouse. Basically, it's all going to be set up through the company you're with. They're going to put you on the clearinghouse. They're going to send you to get your pre-employment drug test. They're going to send you to get drug tested when you need to get drug tested. We're going to buy the decals. We're going to put the decals on your truck. We're going to handle the IFTA and the IRP. Now, this is one thing that is important to note is that you can actually get your own IRP, and it's a lot better for your business because you keep your tag. Your tag goes directly with your truck, and it's through your LLC, and then you just put the company that you're leasing on with as in charge of safety, right? So that's basically one thing you want to do. Sometimes when you lease on, though, they already have IRP all set up, ready to go, so they can just buy you your plates, you know, and then you give them the plate back when you leave. And they handle the IFTA, right? Because they're going to handle your ELD. So they're going to handle the IFTA. Like I said, if you have your own IRP, you're going to have your own IFTA account. But they're basically going to send you, you know, your IFTA report because it's going to go through the ELD, right? If you have like Keep Trucking or something like that. So that's basically going to be covered by your lease on, depending on who you lease on with. Another thing is you're going to be on their insurance. Now, this is something that's important as well, because if you go out and get your own authority right off the bat, insurance is going to be really expensive because you're a brand new business. But if you lease on with a company that's maybe been around for 3, 4, or 5 years, they have a good track record, they don't have many accidents, they've been with the same insurance company, it's going to cost you a lot less to be put onto their insurance. It's going to cost their company a lot less than it would for you to go get your own separate policy through Progressive or whatever, because you're a brand new company. So you're going to end up paying a lot less for insurance because you're getting put on a policy that could be 2, 3 years old, or could be with a company. They could have really good credibility. And that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Insurance is the one thing that, you know, gets really expensive in trucking in general. Another thing, the credibility, like I went over that with you guys. And then they're going to handle basically all of the DOT paperwork. They're going to be like the DOT, Department of Transportation, and the FMCSA is going to go through their company basically. So you're going to be leased onto their company. So if you get pulled over and get in a fraction, it's going to go on you if you have a CDL, but it's also going to go on their company. So you want to make sure that when you get leased on that you're taking it seriously, because you can have a really big negative effect. Sorry, I'm dying. On their company. But one thing with leasing on, right, so it's a good way to get through that learning period, right? So let's say you find somebody who wants to lease you on. It's your first 6 months. You're learning, you know, you're trying to learn. Maybe you're having some run-ins with the DOT. I mean, not really getting infractions, but you're learning, you know, you're learning things you need to change. You know, you're learning what stuff you like to haul, what stuff you don't like to haul. You know, you do 6 months with them, and then you're ready to go get your own authority. You already know all the rules and regulations of the road because you've been on the road. So you feel a lot more comfortable opening up your own business because you already know a lot of the regulations from the experience you gained by leasing on with somebody. So one thing, so that's basically everything they should cover with a lease on, or kind of the perks to being a lease on. You know, they're going to take 15 or 20%, but they are producing a lot for you, and they're basically making it so you can get on the road. I mean, basically with me, with my lease ons, I want to make sure that the only thing they're worried about is picking up and delivering the load as safe as possible. You know, they're not worrying about having to book another load. They're not worried about paperwork they're having to fill out. It's super easy. You know, pick the load up, strap the load down, off to the next spot, and let's just keep it moving, right? So that's basically what's cool about doing the lease on. Oh, and they're gonna cover the factoring fees. They're gonna have a factoring program. Like, you're not gonna have to worry about getting paid off the load, depending on what you do with your lease ons. Even if they don't factor, you know, they're gonna have washouts, so they're gonna be like basically paying you out weekly or bi-weekly. So that's another blessing with leasing on, is if they're using a factoring company, a lot of times they're going to eat the factoring fee. They're going to pay you out what you're due, and they're going to pay you weekly or bi-week. You know, so you're not worried about sending in invoices. You're not worried about XYZ. You're not worried about nothing. You know, you just make sure you have the BOL and the rate con, and you're good to go, right? So that's another blessing about leasing on. Now, if you get your own authority, basically you're gonna have to cover everything, right? Like, it's your own business, so if you get your own authority, you have to do all the paperwork for it. Your name is going to be on the line. It's going to be your insurance policy. It's going to be everything. Obviously, you don't have to pay the 15 or 20%, but you're going to have a lot more risk on the table, especially if you're brand new. But you keep that money, right? So that's something that's super awesome. Basically, the way I would look at it is, if you're brand new and you have no experience at all and you have a truck and trailer, I would say leasing on is probably the way to go. If you've already gone through and got your MC number, your DOT number, and you're getting your insurance or whatever, and you're already there, you know, keep moving forward. You know, you can definitely get it done. But if you're a one-man operation and you're just trying to get on the road with your truck and trailer, I think leasing on is definitely the way to go. But if you're trying to build an empire, you know, you have a couple people on board with you, you have a team together of guys you want to work with, you know, feel free to open your own business. You can definitely get it done by getting your own authority and doing all of that. Perks to having your own authority, I mean, it's all your business. You know, you can basically be your boss. If you're leasing on with somebody, I mean, at the end of the day, they have the last say, just because you do have their numbers on the side of your truck, right? But if you have your own authority, like, you basically choose anywhere you want to go, you choose the loads you take, you choose everything, you know, and you can have that sort of setup with the people you're leasing on. But like I said, you know, at the end of the day, you do have their numbers on the side of your truck. But yeah, guys, I'd like to just leave you with this video. I hope I can kind of help you guys out a little bit, decision-wise, when it comes to leasing on or having your own authority. I talked a lot about leasing on. I didn't really talk about having your own authority, but there's a lot of paperwork that you're not going to have to worry about if you lease on with somebody. But if you do get your own authority, just do it right. Go through everything like it needs to be go through. Keep the right records. I mean, you're going to be perfectly fine, guys. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great day.